That is sports media telling us we have breaking news. Brian Daboll has been fired.
What? Wow.
As the New York Giants head coach. In the middle of the first 15 here, our alarms were sirening off because, hey, there's breaking news. Stop talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers losing to the Chargers. You lost enough of your life watching that game last night. Pivot to some breaking news. The New York Football Giants are moving on from their head coach. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, a senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man, Adam Schefter. Schefter, I know you were kind of waiting for us to finish while you were breaking that news. Did you expect that was coming this morning, or does this kind of come out of nowhere for you, Schefter?
No, I think that we kind of had a sense that this was possible. We knew this was coming. And, Pat, our timing's been impeccable over the last week, where basically you're getting me on as we got Sauce Gardner being traded, Rashid Shaheed being traded, Quinton Williams was coming down last week.
It reminds you of all the things I've done here.
It is just Brian Daboll who has been dismissed. That is the only one. And
interesting.
It's in the midst of the season here. This is pretty amazing when you look at it. The Giants' interim head coach, whoever that will be their sixth head coach since 2016.
Jeez. Okay, so that's 9 years ago, sixth head coach. Obviously, a lot of turnover. We saw the hard knocks behind the scenes in the offseason whenever, Mara comes in and Shane talks about moving on from Saquon to go in with Danny Dimes. We've seen Daboll run the meetings basically for all of their picks that they've done at the Combine in the draft process. Daboll knew this was a make-or-break season. Is that why he potentially wanted Aaron Rodgers maybe as quarterback, Russell Wilson as a quarterback, Jameis Winston as a quarterback, like a veteran quarterback to be able to go on a run? And what does this mean for Jaxson Dart and the development of the future here, Schefter, in your eyes?
Well, I think here's the deal. Jaxson Dart has been evaluated for 4 concussions this year. 4. And so the biggest thing this team can do is make sure it's protecting its quarterback. We've got a quarterback that has been evaluated for 4 concussions. We've got a team that has blown double-digit leads in 4 different road games. They are the inverse of the Chicago Bears. They've been in position to win all these games and haven't gotten it done. And I think that at some point in time, you make the decision that we're not going to move forward with this guy. I think this is a team also that puts so much money and time and investments and picks into its defense. And the defense is one of the worst in the league right now. And so I think that they feel like they need a reboot here. And they made the decision to move on from Brian Daboll. We'll see who the interim head coach is. I'm trying to think of the candidates on staff. Mike Kafka is the offensive coordinator. He might be a candidate here to take over as the head coach, though they may want him to concentrate on the offense, in which case it would be the special teams coach. But Brian Daboll becomes the second head coach let go this year following Brian Callahan in Tennessee.
You talk about the defense and having all these players supposed to be good and being dreadful, then it makes you automatically go to Shane. So Shane, they're not moving on from Shane right now, you say, the general manager. Do we think
Not right now. I'm told that Brian Daboll is the only one. I think it's fair to assume that when you're firing the head coach, everybody is going to come under review. Everybody. What they do with that, we'll see. That'll be up to John Mara, Steve Tisch, and others. But obviously, they felt like this was a move that they had to make today.
Okay, we appreciate the insight, and thank you for joining us here immediately. We've talked about a few things in this top 5 headlines. Do you mind if we go to number 2 right now while you're on here?
What is number 2?
More visible picture at the MVP picture. It feels like there is now a 3-horse race for the MVP in Drake May, Matthew Stafford, and Jonathan Taylor. First, we'll go with Drake May. Unbelievable for his second year, second head coach, second offensive coordinator, 3 if you go back 3 years for him back to college. He is leading this Patriots. I mean, it is fun to watch. Had him early. You know, it feels like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Todd Bowles' defense had him early because I was reading Connor's tweets about it. It's like, whoa, tough day with Todd Bowles right now, tough day. Then he makes this throw with a guy about to hit him. Has to be a touch pass with like a quarter throw. And it's like, this dude is special. And it's not just us saying that, Schefter. Sportsbooks have him as the odds-on favorite to win the MVP. Wow. That is insane to think about at this stage. Matthew Stafford, we just talked about being immaculate. And then Jonathan Taylor, this dude's special. 250 yards or whatever it was in Germany yesterday. He's been doing it all season. There's a lot of stats and factoids about what he's been doing versus Adrian Peterson and Adrian Peterson's MVP season. Up to this point, obviously what the teams were, 8-2, 6-4. He has 17 touchdowns.
Jeez.
Not even close.
I thought we had 7 touchdowns. 1,399 yards from scrimmage, 1,283 yards from scrimmage. So what Jonathan Taylor is doing is obviously historic and obviously better than an MVP season was for a running back in the past. Adrian Peterson, we all have massive respect for as a football player. He was untackleable, and Jonathan Taylor's the same damn thing. And when Jonathan Taylor gets any space, he's gone. He is winning games for the Indianapolis Colts, and you got everybody on that team. You know, Zaire at the end of that 44 was saying, "You're the best player in the world," literally on camera. I got a text from Daniel Jones that said, "We got the best player on earth in Jonathan Taylor." He said life is good with him. Nobody expected this from the Colts, Adam Schefter, and I don't know if anybody expected this from Jonathan Taylor either. If you're a voter, which I don't know if you are or not, are you going to give it to a running back, Schefty, or is this just a quarterback award, do you think, through and through?
Well, here's what I'm going to say to you, Pat. If we go back the last 12 years, okay, the quarterback has won the most valuable player. By the way, Mike Kafka, officially the interim head coach for the New York Giants.
Okay.
Mike Kafka, the interim head coach for the New York Giants. He takes over for Brian Daboll, who was let go here this afternoon. I want to give you something here that's interesting. The quarterback position, a quarterback has won the NFL MVP each of the last 12 years. If we go back over the last 7, there are 50 voters for the MVP award. My friend Peter King pointed this out to me this morning. There are 50 voters for the MVP award. In the last 7 years, there have been 350 first-place votes for the MVP. Of those 350 votes, 349 over the last 7 years have been for quarterbacks. The only single vote in the last 7 years, not for a quarterback, was for Cooper Kupp in 2021. Other than that, a quarterback has gotten every first-place vote for the MVP award. So, that tells you that Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, they're in the lead. However, saying that, I am not a voter. I'm glad I'm not a voter, but I guess I'm not, I've never been asked to be a voter. I have not been a voter since I was younger. Those privileges were revoked. My Hall of Fame privileges were revoked when I was in NFL Network. They never gave them back to me. I guess I can make fun of it now. Nobody ever gave me back. And there are a lot more. There are a lot of people out there, Pat, that know the game way better than me. So they don't need my vote, and they don't need me to vote on the Hall of Fame either.
Of course.
There's a lot of people,
of
lot
course.
more than me.
Oh, jeez, the fire truck's outside. Jesus. Yeah. Hey, everything's all right,
We're
boys.
okay, boys.
Thanks
We're
for coming, boys.
Mitt let him know.
Daboll was just getting fired, dude. So the fire alarms went off here in Indianapolis. But I did not know you got your voting privileges revoked. I'm happy you keep that chip on your shoulder every single day when you wake up and try to change the course of the NFL with your breaking news. 349 of the 350 votes over the last 7 years have gone to a quarterback. Cooper Kupp, obviously everybody says he won the Triple Crown that year. It was actually the quad because he got the yards after catch, too.
Oh, yeah?
So it was like catches, touchdowns, yards, and then also yards after catch he had. So it was like all 4 he was across the board. He got 1 MVP vote. Okay, he got 1. Jonathan Taylor's doing special things. Let's go to somebody who actually has an MVP vote, AP Tone. Running back, potentially in the running, especially with how good this Colts team is. The position we're in, best team in the AFC. And he is clearly the best player on the team. Everybody on the team agrees that.
Yeah, good news. Just got the email this week. I am back this year. I was
He gets to keep his, Schefty.
Yeah,
You bum. Schefty's a bum.
Schefter, you can send me your list. Maybe I'll take it into consideration or not. But yes, Jonathan Taylor and a running back should always be considered when you're having a historic season like this. It doesn't have to be just a quarterback award. It's not named a quarterback award. So yes, if Jonathan Taylor is the most valuable player, he should win the MVP award.
Drake May, odds-on favorite to win the MVP. No Patriots fan. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I was saying before I got in a little bit of a riff. I don't know how you don't give the award today, November 10th, to Jonathan Taylor. The guy's had 4 hat-trick games. 4 games where he scored 3 touchdowns each. He right now is on pace to do things that very few running backs in the history of football ever have done. We're talking about a historic season. Now, again, there are a lot of games left, but look at the production. Look how it compares to an Adrian Peterson won MVP.
Good hosting.
John he's only scored 10 more touchdowns than him at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
10 more, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's what it's
again, Pat, if I did have a vote right now, I would vote for John, but I don't have a vote, so I can't.
Okay, yeah, we understand. You got it revoked. Once again,
not getting it back.
Tone said he will listen to any ideas, but obviously he has more sway than you. He still has a vote for good reason. But let's go to the odds-on favorite right now because of everything you just chatted about. I think everybody just assumes, including sports books, inevitably at the end of the day, push comes to shove, whenever it's time to vote, they'll say the person that's touching the ball every single play is the most valuable position. That is normally the argument. It's not the most best player. It's the most valuable player. Yep. Quarterback's always going to be the most valuable. That's why they're getting paid $60 million a year because they touch the ball every single play. Jonathan Taylor, I think Danny Dimes would be okay with him touching the ball every single play. Yeah. And I think our offense would, but we got weapons everywhere else as well, which is why the Colts are so good. Let's talk about Drake May, though. Odds-on favorite, con man. Nobody expected that as a Patriots fan coming into the season, right? How could you expect the Patriots' second-year quarterback, who wasn't the first quarterback drafted, he's on a brand-new head coach, to be the MVP odds-on favorite through 10 weeks? Congrats to you guys, and congrats to Drake May, who seemingly has it all.
Yeah, incredible. First 10 games, just to kind of piggyback off that Jonathan Taylor thing for Drake May. He's the first quarterback in the history of the NFL to have 2,500 pass yards, 70-plus completion percentage, 250 rushing yards, and 5 or fewer interceptions. Jeez. Shout out Greg Harvey. When we're talking about value and just, valuable as being the word here, you can go to all those other players and then look at the cap space spent across the other offenses. I mean, it's not even close. Drake May would be most valuable. I think Matt Stafford's most deserving, though.
Okay, and the number one story of the weekend is the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
Hey. Colts going to win the Super Bowl. Congrats to us. A huge win. We got about a hard out here in 1 minute. This came quickly. 42-minute first 15 here. Shefty, Eagles-Packers tonight. Literally 1 minute we have. What should we be thinking about?
I knew you did. I got you. Step out of the way, Pat. I got you. I think we're going to get Nolan Smith back tonight for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he'll be activated by 4 o'clock. Jair Alexander did not make the trip for the Philadelphia Eagles, not going to play against his former team. And this is all about the tush-push tonight. The Packers were the team that proposed banning it. We heard Micah Parsons last year with the Cowboys talk about the fact that it was a terrible play. Now the Eagles are going to get a chance to take their tush-push and shove it up the Packers' tush-push tonight in Green Bay on Monday Night Football.
You're the man. Way to tush-push your way right through that. You're the best, Adam Schefter.